Here we are, folks. We'll switch Kingstone to the blue for this. Just feels right to have red and blue, doesn't it? Welcome to a round of 16 matchup. We've got Hearttt in the red. Hearttt playing as the Britons here on triple tunnel. And then in the blue, we have Kingstone playing as the Japanese. This can be a pretty boomy map. It's 1 TC, sudden death action, so you can't build a second and third town center. So you could say Britons could be seen as worse than standard settings in this because they usually take advantage of the cheap TCs. But who can stop the Briton range? Not many civilizations. So I think that's Heartt's approach. Heartt's approach will probably be to play archers in this game on the long term. And if he can get to mass longbows and trebs, pretty much impossible for the Japanese to push. Pond is on the back. Players will utilize that to a degree. And they're also looking for the boars, but Hearttt has missed the boar. Really unfortunate. Continues to be unfortunate. And now he sees it. Okay. Yeah, so good preparation from Hearttt. He knew there's going to be a boar there. There's also a boar in the southern tunnel. And Hearttt came out really early for this, and he just wants that extra food. Yay. So Hearttt should be able to escort that boar back to the TC no problem, because he's pretty damn good at the game. Kingstone scouted super early. And Kingstone might be able to steal this boar. That would be pretty wild. He doesn't know where the scout is from Hearttt, so maybe that's risky. But the fact that he moved forward that early to scout Hearttt is a little surprising to me. But maybe in this matchup, he'll choose to be aggressive, and he wants a lot of information on where to pressure here with the Japanese. You have the early game flexibility with the cheap lumber camps. You have really good food eco from the fish. But yeah, long-term, Britons are just the better civs, so could definitely see Kingstone wanting to be aggressive. Guys, there's a weird visual bug. Do you see how the scout was angled to the side there? That will happen sometimes with melee units on the most recent patch. I've actually also seen it with mangonels. Like, the mangonel won't look directly at the target it's attacking. It's fairly easy to replicate as well if you are a dev listening. But that falls into the category of something I assume they know about because, you know, it's something that you could just kind of tell. I've seen it a bunch of times. So Hearttt will have 3 boars. Didn't even have to sacrifice the scout HP for it. And then he comes down this way, and we'll know Kingstone didn't take this boar. I don't think Kingstone needs to come take this. You're still okay without it. But if he were to go to the north, that would be horrible. Oh, no. Guys. Oh, no. Look where he's going. Well, props to him for being prepared, I guess, and knowing there can be boars in these tunnels. But he's just assuming that there's going to be a boar there. And I can kind of understand why he's assuming this, because he saw Hearttt scout at home. Now, you could probably think about it and realize there's still a boar here, so maybe he would have taken one. But if I saw Hearttt scout at home, I would just assume that the boar is going to be up here. Maybe it's not for the boar, though. He keeps moving. Nah, this is for a sneak barracks or something, guys. Heartt's bringing in boar number 3. And Hearttt has not seen anything out of the ordinary here. I think Kingstone might be hoping to get a dock down on Heartt's pond or something. But he's got a sneak, which is so rare in AoE2 in 2025. This could be a classic here. This is perfect against a player like Hearttt. Hearttt is like full meta, right? He'll be looking around. Now, the key is going to be, will Hearttt understand that there's a sneak because he doesn't see something? This would be the time where a barracks would normally be coming up. If he looks around thoroughly and doesn't see anything, he might need to start dropping some walls and outposts at home. So let's see how on point Hearttt is here in the first game. Also, Zarin, welcome to the thanks for the first message on the channel. What's up, FG Squared? Thanks for the prime. Thanks for the help. Skillsu, thank you. Appreciate the love, guys. Yeah, so sometimes it's not what you see, it's what you don't see. Yeah, now you see 3 on gold. There's no dock on your pond. Hearttt will do one more little circle here. If he doesn't see a barracks, I think we might actually see some outposts. Kingston's got the militia coming from here. And Kingston's scout's also lurking around as well. If Hearttt starts to see that scout really looking at his base intently, he must realize it's for a reason. And yeah, I think he's coming back home now. He knows something's up. His spidey senses are tingling here. And just doesn't know exactly what is going to come. If you are going to predict anything, it's going to be man-at-arms. So he'll be prepped for that. Both players are in feudal. Kingston should take Hearttt away from this. And, okay, here he goes. Hearttt sees it with a house. Immediate house from Hearttt. That was so well played. Now he's going to be pressured on gold, though. And man-at-arm upgrade will still be in. So he'll be shifted off that resources. Nice quick wall there from Hearttt. He also has the quick wall the villager on the shoreline. Crazy reaction time there from Hearttt. And now he also drops the houses on the woodline. So far, he has not taken any damage to this. But win or lose, I like the opening from Kingston because you have to make it messy. It's just wild, man. Like, Hearttt didn't even leave the golds. Like, he just came right back. I think at a certain point, if you're Kingston, you do just have to be happy to have forced some reactions and at least attack the walls or something. I think staying on the gold would have been good. Heartt's micro is super sharp right now. Hearttt can always take this gold as well. So Heartt's archers are out. He's got another archer on the way. He does see there's a tower on the way. He'll now see skirmishers. So he has never seen the buildings. Kingston, a minute of idle TC time because he's trying to do so much at once, which is really difficult to manage. And Hearttt is building a counter tower. Kingston can't see the counter tower. It's perfectly timed from Hearttt. Man, he's so good. Like, the game sense was great to know this was coming. The timing on the counter tower is great. It must be frustrating if you're Kingston, because, like, this could have done so much more damage, and now your tower's deleted. You don't have enough stone for another tower. It feels like you've done no damage here. Now, I will start to... I saw there was a second dock placed, so I think Kingston is hoping to get a fish boom behind this. But if Hearttt counterattacks, there could be problems for Kingston outside of these walls. I do like this, though. Like, actually has a gold back here. His wood safe as well. The fact that he's walled already is really good foresight. And still can produce some skirmishers here. He's just getting housed a lot. He's doing so much at the same time. Heartt's still on just that one dock, but that's still fine. You don't really benefit from the two docks yet. You're really just looking for the fish traps. We finally had our first kill of the game. Hearttt lost an archer to the skirms. Another archer's going to die here for Hearttt unless he could somehow save that. He doesn't. Hearttt losing some ground now. Losing those archers is kind of painful. But the man-at-arms don't really have a lot of value for Kingston now. If he pressures in here, there's a tower. Everywhere else, there's walls. So realistically, it's about who has more ranged units right now, and the answer is Hearttt. And the scout for Kingston as well, very weak. Will not help against the skirms. So I expect to see skirms, more skirms, and eco-balancing towards Castle Age here. And we've got walls now from Kingston on this side, and he's going to try... This is super ambitious, but he's going to try a stone wall in the middle. Unfortunately, the man-at-arm might actually lead the army here. Actually, no. Hearttt has to chase this, right? Like, Hearttt has to respect there's always going to be more army here. And the villager as well is somewhere. Does anyone know where the villager went? Also, we missed an opportunity to name the villager. Well, wherever he is, he's probably safe now. The stone walls are going to go down in a really good spot for Kingston. So like, Heartt's going to have an army advantage, but what does that army accomplish if it just runs into walls? Obviously, you need to wall every tunnel, but the fact that Hearttt doesn't even see this is pretty sick. So Kingston can lose his army now, and as long as the walls are down, he can feel pretty satisfied. We do see another villager going this way. Yeah, it would be sick. If we saw both players get maxed out on Trebs, that would be so cool. I really like Kingston's position right now. So, chat, I've seen a couple games on this map where it feels like someone has a really nice lead. Like, I would say Hearttt is a really nice lead right now. He has 7 fish traps set up. He has more army. He has a better KD. But the problem is it takes so long to find payoff with your lead. And so I just think there's a lot of time for Kingstone's double dock approach to kick in. And for the walls to just keep Heartt's army out. I think Heartt has clicked his army right here. And they're pathing this way. So he must know it's walled up. He doesn't know where it's walled. Kingstone might need to consider a second villager here. He did do the small walls to keep things safe here. Also, Tango, thanks for the raid, dude. Thank you, Gaffer. Thank you, Stefan. Welcome. Scout's still alive for Kingstone here. So how do you play this in Castle Age? I wouldn't hate full skirm and like siege from Kingstone. Imp is going to be in the back of their minds. Ooh, this could get kind of worrying. Oh, God. Okay, well, he can drop a market there. He has to be careful not to lose the market foundation. Yeah, I guess a market here, and then he's still kind of safe. Now he has 2 markets. That's funny, man. IP config in chat says, what do you suggest for improving in gaming? I'm not good at army decisions and counters. I think when it comes to decision making and counters and stuff like that, it honestly comes down to experience. Right? Like watching this game more, which, you know, I can help with and other people can help with, is going to help you understand what people can do in certain scenarios. And like, the only way that you're going to learn how fights work and if a fight's going to be a good fight or a bad fight for you is by intaking more information. As boring as and unexciting as that sounds, like I know you probably wanted me to just say like, hey, this is what you do, this one thing, boom, done. But like, you got to learn. And the only way you learn is to take some good fights and take some bad fights and then get a feel for like, oh, that is a good fight or that's a bad fight. I can give you a general tip though. Too many people switch their game plan way too early. So like they're going knights and then they stop making knights before they get good upgrades or good numbers. Or they're going archers and they don't commit. I think really leaning hard into one type of unit and then adapting from there is important. Too many people are switching too early. Now Heartt has brought a villager forward. Heartt wants to break this tunnel. But Kingstone needs to defend from this. He doesn't have any army prepped for this, so it's just going to be walls. And this is a real problem, man. Heartt's going to be through this once the siege comes in. And, like, Kingstone will have 0 military. He doesn't even have a military building. But another layer of walls is nice. Heartt realistically could be delaying those walls with the villagers right now, or with the army right now. So now he does. And Siege Workshop's on the way. Heartt just playing super comfortable. And he's not skipping the eco as well. Both players have a similar amount of fishing ships. And now Kingstone will go for some military. Res collected is dead even, though. Let's look at the specifics. Damn, that's crazy. Really close. Like 100 resource difference, maybe? But Heartt has 17 army versus 0. So all of Heartt's military is stayed alive and can still be valuable, and that's not the case for Kingstone. What would be really wild, and it's not going to work now because Heartt's starting to wall up, but imagine if Kingstone just walled here and then deleted his walls and went in with an army. Like, he could just instantly kill Heartt. Heartt has nothing here, but stone walls from Heartt's smart response. I'd like to see Kingstone be a little bit more creative in how he plays this here. But he's just so focused. What a silly game. Like, not a single farm and just stacking everything into this tiny little pond that has no fish in it. I don't know. Okay, do you love cramming fishing ships into a tiny little pond? I guess this is not the tiniest pond ever. Or do you hate cramming a million fishing ships into a tiny little pond, chat. I don't know. It's all right. It's not my favorite. It's the best way to play this, though, from this position for these two, because you can't build a second TC. So that is the way to get to eco lead, and looks like most people really like it. All right. Wow, Kingston is up. Well played from him to hold. Japanese fish boom paying off a bit for him. And the second layer of wall is held for now. Again, remember, this is sudden death. This isn't suddenly fight the opponent's army. This isn't sudden defense. It's sudden death. I'd love to see a castle on the front. It's risky, but a castle on the front, shoot down the walls, and then trebuchets for the TC could be a win condition for Kingston. But it's hard to think that you can do that when Hearttt has this much pressure and he's about to break into your base. Super tough to rely on siege against Britons as well, because Britons can outrange the siege, and Heartt's micro is so good. And Kingston doesn't have the skirm upgrades yet, but those upgrades will come in. 80 population for him, 100 population for Hearttt, but a lot of that's military. Yeah, I think Hearttt should definitely consider Onager. I don't think going Onager against Britons is a wise move at this level. Britons just outrange Onager. Hearttt will probably take that down. Still waiting to see if there will be a castle here. The Kingston's macroed really well. To beat Hearttt to the Imperial Age is impressive, and the walls have been critical. Without the walls, he would have been completely dead, of course. Hearttt doesn't seem to trust himself to move in just yet. I think just being patient, he'll feel like his civilization is better in the Imperial Age. Would really like to see Kingston drop off this relic. Does the monk have a beard? Doesn't look like it. Noted. If you missed why I'm zooming in on monks and units to see if they have beards today, we played a weird little game where that somehow mattered in the trivia. Kingston up faster. Heartt's going to be like, what? But he's just destroying this wall. I would love to see Hearttt go Onager before he does anything else. He'll probably still get Bracer and Chemistry for the crossbow, but yeah, what better opportunity for Onager? Castle here from Kingston, so he doesn't want Hearttt to see it. I like that. Can he get to the TC? T90, is it because you're adding a beard to your mustache? I can't really grow a beard. Well, I mean, I can, but it gets kind of patchy. My skin gets really uncomfortable. So, oh my god, unfortunately, not really a great option for me. But the mustache works. There's Onager for Hearttt. Yeah, Kingston can never push this. Siege engineers as well. This is so smart from Hearttt. Kingston has to go through the middle. And I don't think Hearttt is sensing that. Hearttt feels like this is exactly what he wants. He's getting a big fight right here. He only sees a wall here. It's kind of funny how the skirmishers are in between the wall there. That looks like something I would have done when I was like 8 in the scenario editor. Kingston's going for Onager. Onager to cut the wood line and then Trebs for the TC would be epic here. He is going to die here, though, if he doesn't have defense. Can he get an Onager over here? Yeah, he's got a Mangonel. Oh, let's go, dude. Remember, you lose your town center, you're dead. He's going to drop a defensive castle to protect his TC as long as possible. Hops out with an Onager. Bam. It's fun to see Onager. Another bam. Okay, Kingston needs to be very careful. Hearttt is dropping a defensive castle, but the defensive castle might not be enough against mass trebuchet from Kingston if Kingston masses enough. You need to wait as long as you can. Hearttt doesn't actually have trebs to push this area, though. The fact that he's going castle here helps him defensively. It doesn't help him offensively at all. Kingston with more walls right now. Slow and steady for Hearttt. He knows he has the lead. He doesn't want any risks here. Economies are similar. Kingston does not see that castle from Heartt, so he doesn't know that's there. So he will think that he can onager cut, and then he can go in with just like 2 trebs or something. He actually needs probably like 5 or 6. The thing is, he probably should just roll his trebs underneath the castle and go for the TC, but players are not going to want to take that risk. Yeah, Heartt will see the castle now. And so he has to stay out of range of that. And now he needs to bring his own trebs from a really long distance. Nice walling and towers from Kingston. Kingston's played this well, guys. Oh, and he's starting now. He's starting. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. He's going to cut through. Heartt will notice this, though. Heartt sees it. Kingston's going around the castle. Wow, he actually sent a few skirms from the starting archer range and saw the castle. Now he's hoping to go around. Here he goes. Panic time for Heartt. Heartt is onager cutting as well. But where's he running? Trebs are through. Trebs can go. Here we go. We got Heartt massing onagers from both siege workshops. The Trebs need to go now. Heartt's still in a weird spot. He can't really go past the towers. Again, he's definitely panicking. Is it possible for Kingston to take down the town center right now? He'll take down Heartt's Treb. He needs to take down Heartt's onagers as well. The Trebs are deployed. Heartt loses his onager. The Trebs are deployed. There's another onager coming from the other side. Kingston has to take out... Oh, no! He has to take down the onager. No, the Trebs! Go, 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 go! He almost did it! 200 HP and Heartt survives! Heartt survives! Oh, man. One more Treb, guys. One more Treb. 3 Trebs instead of 4. Oh. Well, it's not over, but it felt like that was his opportunity to do it. It's going to be so much more difficult now because Heartt's going to be aware of that. Heartt also saved all of this army. You could tell Heartt's like, nah. I'm not going to push all these defenses. I'm just walling this up, and I'm shifting all my focus to fight you in the middle now. Oh, it was so close. So freaking close for Kingston. It's easy to say now, but just one more Treb or Kata Peruto so he can unpack a little bit faster. He is actually basically running out of resources. Both players are really light on gold. This is where you start to run out of gold in your base, and you really need the gold in the tunnel. Heartt's going to have access to those golds, though. And the gold in the middle is not one Kingston can take for very long. Beautiful response from Heartt, though. He reacted very quickly, multiple siege workshops, and he pulled a bunch of villagers to repair, though. His heart was probably beating like crazy there. But now I think with Warwolf, Heartt just straight up wins. Like this now hits a point where I would consider it a civ win. I don't know a single thing Japanese can do against Britons at this point. I think Japanese do get siege engineers if they wish to. So they can compete with the range. They both get unique Treb upgrades. The Briton Trebs just win the Treb war. Can Kingston go for the TC again? Maybe. But where do you even run with them? You can't go this way. You can't go this way. You have to go middle. And Heartt's sitting there. Ugh. That's so brutal. Yeah, if his Trebs would have attacked and unpacked faster, he probably would have taken down the TC. Kata Peruto or one more Treb, and he would have taken the win. Yo, Chess Tim and Pom Pom, welcome. Thanks for the primes. It's time for the Trebuchet War. And now Warwolf is on the way for Heartt. It's a pretty expensive upgrade. He doesn't have it yet, but it's 15 seconds away. So far, the engagement is okay for Kingston. That's a big shot. But once Warwolf is in, these Trebs are not going to miss. And the Trebs are just going to destroy Kingston's Trebs. Still is only 2 Trebuchets. It's kind of wild how little gold they have. And how much food they have. They'll probably be selling off a lot. Heartt kind of struggling right now, despite having Warwolf to push this. But I think it's just some patience from him now. He's backing up. Big Deathball army. Arbalests that have 11 range. Actually, they don't have 11 range yet, but they will have 11 range if he ever gets Yeoman. Nice job from Kingston. Really nice job from Kingston. Yeah, Hearttt could maybe get these relics if he's thinking of it. But jeez, dude, how are you supposed to get anywhere near this? Maybe something Kingston could consider as monks to convert the onagers from distance, but even then, it's like, it's impossible, man. Monks get sniped by the archers. And the door is slowly closing. The window of opportunity slowly closing for Kingston. I don't think random skirmishers from this archer range are going to do it, but he is trying. He is attacking the house with one of them. It's just... I'm waiting for a big shot on these skirms from onagers or trebs. We could see 50 units go down, or I guess 30 units go down all at once here. You just can't get anywhere close to the Britons, man. Kingston has to keep backing up because anytime those trebs are in range, he knows he'll probably lose them. Hearttt could consider going Cav. With the amount of food he has, he could consider some stable units. I think Kingston is sending the skirmishers this way into the castle. Probably using the select all archery range hotkey. It's so weird, man. Britons are like impossible to push, but they're so slow to push. It's such a slow crawl. And Hearttt is in no hurry here. He doesn't want to take any risks. It's such a crazy engagement. You rarely see Trebor like this. Yeah, Warwolf, they just don't miss their shots, though. And Onager, the Onager, Hearttt still has the numbers. And Kingston has to back away again. I think what Kingston should try, and it's maybe too late, it's only one piece of stone wall, 2 petards. In the middle of a fight in the middle, you petard through the wall, and then just roll around with your trebs to the TC. I think he doesn't know about the wall from Hearttt over here. Yeah, he's trying to click his units there, and they're pathing forward again. So now he'll know that there's something happening. But he's getting pushed fast. Like, he needs the petards big time. He doesn't know about the wall. Now he sees the wall. You could also use the trebuchet to not attack the wall, but cut the trees. And Heartt's just going right down the middle now. Towards that TC. Kingston will do whatever he can to hold. This wasn't sudden death. It would definitely be over. The fact that it is sudden death gives Kingston a chance if he can somehow get to that town center. Still has this small army. Guys, what about champs? Honestly, if he went like long swords in this barracks, maybe could have a chance. There's nothing back here. You're just never going to think about that, though, when you're playing. Especially when you're behind. Yeah, arson militia. Relics are now lost. Hearttt will drop a castle, take all that gold. Heartt's going to have like 40 on gold. It'll only be 5 for Kingston, and then no relics. Yeah, the Onager's on the way to cut through here, I think. He forgot he could do that. Hearttt just needs to keep pushing. Because the faster he pushes, the less likely he gets surprised. And how is Hearttt supposed to get surprised here? I mean, he has so much vision. He has so much time to react to anything he sees. Tantron, 69 months. Let's go. Thanks for the 69 months, man. Welcome. The Kingston's fighting, man. He's fighting like this is the last game he'll ever play. I appreciate it. I mean, you can tell he's definitely going to make a run for it again. But I think it's pretty easy for Hearttt to see this. And Hearttt is also in a spot where he could probably just kill Kingston faster than Kingston can kill him now. He's flattening the trebs. He'll flatten the towers. Let's go! Go, 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 go! Run! No, he cut through the wall. Go! Faster! Go faster, go! Hearttt sees it. Hearttt sees it. Oh, no. Light Cav is cheating, bro. Oh, my God. Look at Hearttt bring everything back. That's so funny. Hearttt brings all his arms, too. Yeah, well, I think the Light Cav are enough. The arms are going back onto the front to push. Who knows? Catapruto's in. Nah, he never had a chance. That's a nice play. I would like to ask for some salutes for Kingstone because he was so close. I feel so bad for him. If he had one more Treb, he actually would have done it. But you normally just have one chance. One freaking chance. I don't want to say he blew it, but it just wasn't enough. And then Hearttt, those salutes also extend to Hearttt because Hearttt just kind of played a perfect game. After seeing that cut, he reacted immediately. TC did go down to 200 HP, but he repaired it fully. And yeah, you just, as the underdog, you're not going to have that many opportunities. That's a really good Civ pick from Hearttt. Very well played. Amazing defense against what was supposed to be the chaos in the opening. Heartt's just super tough to beat. I think the only way you're beating Hearttt if you're Kingstone is by taking down the TCs. I don't think you're going to beat him in any other way. GG. Wow, so they are really close together here. This is not common. Of course, can happen on Arena, but their walls are quite close. We'll see if the players scout that. We've got Hearttt in the red, and Heartt's playing as the Poles. Poles are a good pick here, I think. I mean, you're getting the food boost when you build your farms around Fullworks. Get some extra gold income when you're mining stone. They have a good tech tree as well. They have good hussars, of course, but they also have arbalest, decent monks. They have access to ballbar cannons, so they certainly have no shortage of options. Burgundians, though, I think in a standard game, they might be like they're certainly top 3 on Arena. Now, you could argue they're a little bit weaker on a 1 TC game in sudden death than in normal settings. But being able to get the early eco upgrades is really strong with them. So I would definitely prefer the Burgundians. But I think in some games I've seen, some people like to tower rush on this 1 TC. And if Poles want to go tower rush, it could be a really strong Civ for that. And a really good map for it as well because the opponent's close. So, guys, they added foxes and a bunch of other animals in the game, right? And when they added the new animal, they then made it so chickens could be pushed, which is apparently a bug, by the way. So I guess they never even tested it. And I don't think foxes are supposed to be pushable either. But again, I guess it wasn't tested. Foxes give you gold. So for now, players are able to take advantage of that. That's 35 gold that Kingstone can take and factor into his build. But that's apparently not something that is going to be long-term. Eventually, foxes will not be something you can push across the map. And chickens will be unpushable yet again. Now, chickens are currently pushable. But they're not, like, super easily pushable like the fox. You have to stay there for a long time to push them. So, as is, it's actually fine. They might not even need to make any changes to the chickens. Because people still probably need to build a mill. Or they could opt for the chicken funnel, which they may or may not adjust at some point. Reverend, thanks for the 18 months. Maxi, yeah, I enjoyed the grid. It was fun. I need to get good. I don't think I've won one of those yet. Where did the other fox go? Oh, the other fox has tried to escape. Okay, so there's that fox. Because there is some decay, it doesn't end up being 35 gold. I think you end up getting like 32 gold. But Kingstone taking advantage of this, and Kingstone's just going to escort this fox into the base. And Hearttt has been really looking around here and knows where the walls are. Does feel like a tower rush from him. He only had 2 on wood. I think he's about to drop off the food and click up. And meanwhile, the chicken funnel begins for Kingstone. Drops a gate. Drops another gate. This is a super easy chicken funnel. You just need 2 different gates and 2 palisade walls, and those chickens are going to wander right underneath the TC. Yeah, he's in a great spot. So Hearttt needs to create some chaos here. And Kingston will just try and bump these chickens and hope they wander to the other side. But this guy, making his way in. I'm going to drink my water. You guys probably came for this instead of me speaking anyways. I have found with my chicken funneling that a flat gate is very hard to funnel. Whoa! Where are these chickens going, dude? It's a rave. Maybe I should go I should do that. But yeah, for whatever reason, the flat gates are not great for the chicken funnels. I don't know why. It's just the way they path. They tend to not do what you want from them. Now, they will still occasionally naturally wander underneath your TC like this. But the whole bumping them doesn't work. They don't shift around once they hit the gate as much. Hardy says I will not edit anything in there. Hold on, I'm pressing edit. Hardy, when you look at this, whenever you do your editing, can you please edit in some music for the chickens? YouTube will have to let us know if he does. I don't know if I'm going to go to the video and see if he does. We'll see if Hardy in chat will feel the same way when he gets to do the work there. It's fine. Why is he building houses here now? Is he trying to reset the chickens? Well, he only got like 1 or 2. Also, this chicken is coming back home too. What is this build? Also, by the way, Hearttt is in feudal age. He built a barracks, did not go forward. So I don't know if he bailed on his idea. It feels like maybe he's just going for a little bit of a feudal boom. I do actually like a feudal boom though. It's great for fast Imperial Age because your farms last a lot longer than a typical Dark Age farm after Horse Collar. Okay, we have some chicken info. T90, the chicken scare distance is about 1 tile. A diagonal gate has no distance, so you can scare them through. Straight gate is 1 tile thick. Yeah, okay, makes sense. It's just like the hitbox. I also find diagonal walls to be more successful than a diagonal gate, so... Yeah, so you can push them now. When they introduced this animal, they weren't supposed to be pushable. So he got 1. He ended up building a mill anyways. Maybe he'll be able to push 1 in, but eventually he'll want the scout out and about. So I've kind of run out of things to break down here, guys. We've just been talking about chickens. So if you have a question, this would be a great time. Help me out. Kingston will be up. He's dropping a stable. That'll be for scouts. And honestly, I kind of expect Hearttt to do the same. They both also have the market instead of a blacksmith. So just for some extra flexibility to buy and sell. What species of chicken is that? I think it's the annoying species. I don't know. I wasn't expecting that to be the question. I thought it was going to be like, T90, what type of content are you real excited for in the future? What event? No, we got, like, questions about chickens. Kingston is up. Slightly higher res collected. Nothing too crazy. Heartt's going to be up as well, and Hearttt will complete the stable. So it's a close game. Where's the logo for Sudden Disaster? You want to see the logo? It's right below my face right now. There you go. There's the logo. I don't think the rules say I have to have it up, and I don't want to cover up more of the screen because then people will miss out on the chickens. If I'm wrong on that, though, I can always add that logo somewhere. It's just a really big logo. Oh, we got a Flemish militia. Damn. This guy's ready to work. I wasn't expecting some Flemish militia here. Okay. I mean, pretty smart. I think they're decent against scouts. So 1 or 2 of those with scouts could be solid here. And Heartt's certainly not going to expect it. Hearttt doesn't see it yet. He just sees the scout. Hearttt trying to block on that scout now. You can tell Hearttt can click a little bit faster, and now he sees the Flemish militia. It looks like a spearman, but it is not a spearman. It is a Flemish militia. And Hearttt doesn't seem that worried about it. Hearttt seems really happy with this engagement. Hearttt says, thank God it's not a spearman. I think these do have bonus damage against... Don't they have bonus damage against cavalry? Okay, so they've got 7 bonus damage. It did just get more HP getting to Castle Age. But I guess the Feudal Age versions weren't amazing, but it was enough. I mean, you're just comparing military units in the middle right now, and Hearttt doesn't have as many scouts. If life is a chicken, what does that make you? I guess that makes me the egg? If life is a chicken, what does that make you? I guess it does depend on which came first, the chicken or the egg. Excited. I like that. I definitely didn't steal that from chat. Sorry, that's not my fault. Double Monastery now from Hearttt. Double Monastery when the opponent's going... Well, you know what? I don't think he was expecting light cav. He thought it was just going to be straight Flemish militia and thought he could convert those. It's not going to be bad to have double Monastery long term. But I think committing to double Monastery production would be a mistake right now. I think you need more food eco. Eco is very close. Heartt's the favorite here. Kingston, this is his home map. He needs this win. And so far, no relics collected here. Just having some fun here on Arena. We didn't really talk about the relic position. It seems pretty fair. Some relics that are slightly closer to one player than the other. The additional gold being over here for Kingston's kind of crazy. Like that's, in theory, quite safe from any pressure that might come through. And then Hearttt has this gold in his walls forward and the other gold outside of it. That's a really important area for Hearttt to lock down. Oh, Hearttt could lose 2 monks. Oh, but the blocking... He does lose 2 monks. That's worth it for Kingston. He kills 2 monks. Sacrifices a light cav. Also sees the double monastery as well, so he might consider another stable. Having said that, though, he's already on 2 stables. And he's also getting that first relic. Look at the imposter in here. It's just so funny to me to see Flemish militia and spearmen mixed in the same group. There was a kill here. It was just a lion, so no actual units have gone down. And Kingston coming through again, looking for a monk. We'll see it. Hearttt trying to block. That's a lot of light cav, though, and Kingston kills another monk. And Husbandry is not in yet for Hearttt, so he's just simply too slow to catch up. But look at the low HP units from Kingston. He can fall right back to his spearmen. He can fall right back to his monks, and he can heal up, and then Hearttt. He is to be careful. That's frustrating right there. To see those 2 weak units fall back is brutal. It's just brutal. Do you believe that Duduzu will win this tournament? I would love for that to happen. I don't think so, no. I think Duduzu's crazy run probably ends the next round up against Freakin' Andy. Freakin' Andy's really hard to stop, but either way, I know he's really happy with how he's played so far. He also told me, I messaged him and just like congratulated him on how and said how fun it was to watch. And he apparently watched every single cast. Like 6 different people in the community casted it. And he apparently watched every single one and stayed up till 5 a.m. enjoying it. I don't know if he watched them simultaneously or how that worked. But yeah, he watched every single person's perspective. Every single Twitch chat message. Like, he was truly enjoying it. I get it. Like, if I have a really good result in the tournament, I watch the perspectives. And sometimes you're so pumped, you think the caster's going to be congratulating you. And then they're just like not appreciating what you've done in the same way. I always try not to be that caster, you know? Oh my god, Kingston again, bro. How many monks is that? Hearttt has lost so many monks. Double Monastery was not it. I mean, maybe double Monastery is the play because you're losing so many monks, you need new ones. But Kingston has looked really comfortable here. He's about to lose one of his own monks. But it might be able to snag a conversion here. Unlikely that monk ever makes it home. And conversion does actually happen. Engagement's taken. Burgundians don't get bloodlines, but I don't think bloodlines was really enough there. That's another good engagement for Kingston. Heartt's got some weak units. It just feels like the eco has pulled ahead ever so slightly here for Kingston. Maybe it's just the production, honestly. I think it's the difference between 2 stable and 1 stable right now. Heartt's still only on 1. Eventually, though, polls should be better here because of having bloodlines. I think Heartt's been expecting these engagements to go ever so slightly better because of that. Wow, it's actually 3 stable for Kingston. Damn. But if Heartt matches that, if Heartt goes 3 stable as well, and it's full light cav v light cav, the polls will be ahead. I think Kingston is just really hoping to get the relics right now. That monk is heading home. Heartt knows the relic's no longer there, so he'll be looking for that monk. Still looking for the monk. We'll find the monk, but that's fine for Kingston. That's really close to home base. Tosses it an extra tile forward as well. So it's unlikely Heartt gets that. Heartt now falls into some Flemish militia and some light cav. There's another monk bringing a relic. Heartt's going to see that. I'm sure there will be more monks headed out towards these relics. Heartt's about to click up to Imp. Kingston could also click up to Imp. But the fight should actually start to be much better for Heartt soon. Assuming he matches the numbers and upgrades. And he doesn't have Iron Casting at least. Kingston getting Loom now. Loom before you click up to Imp is probably pretty smart if you're going to be attacked. Or if you're going to be moving out. He's waiting for his second building to click up. He will grab relic number 3. This game could go either way. 18 to 17 KD. Relic count could be 3 to 2. Right now it's 3 to 1 for Kingston. And we see some knights mixed in for Kingston. Oh, and the blocking? Oh, that was so sick. Oh, that was so good. Man, dude, he blocked perfectly. In fact, he got around the light cav there, and Heartt just tried to path through or path away, either one. And 4 light cav go down. You know, polls don't get help. So in this long-term cav war, polls, if they're not going cav, could have some real problems countering Paladin. But can you go Paladin with 50 villagers? It seems pretty expensive. I mean, Heartt's going to switch into Arbalest now. We see the ranges. We see the crossbowmen being massed. Kingston's done such a good job protecting his monks. It's crazy. His boxing out, which I guess is the way to say it, is just so good. Makes it look so easy. Clearly a player who's very comfortable in these settings, and Heartt has been patient as well. I think normally I would be saying Heartt needs more patience. He's not playing these maps as much, but like, no, he's been patient, man. Is it the right play for Heartt to switch out of Cav here? You could get a castle up. You could go for Selective Privilege, and you could spam Cavalier. It's very cheap. I feel like cheap units in a low eco scenario could be great. Paladin upgrade is half off for Kingston. He is full blacksmith upgrades for Castle Age right now, and he will have 4 relics. This is a situation where if Heartt can create choke points for himself, and like even extend the walls, have areas for the archers to camp in, and also maybe mix in more monks, you can definitely beat Paladin. But that's a lot of cav. Can he afford Paladin right away? It's like, Paladin, 50% off. It's still your life savings. Still expensive. It takes 3 minutes as well. He's at the limit. You can't really afford anything else. T90, do you secretly root for players without disclosing to not seem biased? What type of question is that? If, okay, this is an if, I would secretly root for players without disclosing this to not seem biased. Do you think I would now disclose that I am secretly not disclosing my bias? That would feel like an incorrect move. I mean, listen, I'm human, right? I'm human. Obviously, there are instances where I am, you know, the percentages shift a little bit. I'll be real with you on that. there are times where it's like, yeah, okay, 60-40. I'd really like the underdog to win here. You can probably pretty clearly tell with my cast. Like, I like underdogs showing what they're capable of. So, yeah. There are some instances where it's not 50-50, for sure. But in general, I've got a job to do. I have to be professional. And I have to cast what I see. I have to say what's happening. And not present a different perspective. So, it's always a challenge to have a good mix. Hopefully, I do a pretty good job at that. Paladin's 30 seconds away. If Kingston can just kill Hearttt right away. I really don't like the Arbalest switch. And I think Arbalest is just... I think it takes too much time. I would have preferred to see Slacta Privilege, Cavalier. Would that have worked? I don't know. But your opponent's about to be on Paladin with Trebs? Like, this is going to be tough, man. What's the benefit of removing the stone wall around the castle? Just so your units can path that way. I think initially he actually wanted to build the castle safely from within his walls, and he wanted the castle to be kind of where the monks are. And there the benefit is you can still build the castle without leaving your base. And Kingston is waiting until he gets the proper amount of siege, and he's gonna force the fight and take down the castle. If Hearttt can get Arbalest, and if he has like 6 monks and gets a conversion on everyone, this could be sick. He's actually going for petards? Heartt's maybe thinking there's a real chance he can make a move for that TC. Petard down the wall. Honestly, this could work. 2 petards through the wall, 5 trebs are ready. Hearttt could do this. And Kingston's not thinking about this possibility because Kingston's thinking about, like, you know, just smashing with Paladin. Kingston hasn't even built an outpost here. This is how you play the game mode. It'd be a heartbreaker for Kingston to lose this way because the previous game, if he had 1 more treb, he would have won. Hearttt saw Paladin. I'm pretty certain he saw it. If he doesn't see it, he sees it now. Yeah, he knows. And he might think he's dead against Paladin. Honestly, Hearttt should fight with the Arbs here, fight with the Lightcalf, and go 2 petards through the wall with the trebs. They have to be in separate positions. You can't send your army with your trebs because then Kingston will notice. You want Kingston looking and feasting on this fight. Hearttt, you got to go now, bro. You got to go now. No, you got to go. You got to go. You got to go. You got to go. Well, he's going to go. This is far from ideal. This is just so horrible. He's waiting until he loses everything to go. Like, and now the petards are visible. Well, he was not quick enough to send it. And there's now a hole in his wall, and the paladins are into his base. And too little, too late. Kingston is going to tie up the series. Just absolutely massacres Hearttt. Paladins are on the TC. And the trebs get sniped and Hearttt laughs. Well, honestly, I still love it. You know, again, I feel like I'm going to say this a lot, but I respect the fact, even though that was horrible, that Hearttt tried to go for the TC instead of just sitting there and dying. But, like, it's a little disappointing because he actually had the setup. Like, all you need is 2 petards, and then you need the 5 trebs. Like, he had that right now, before the fight starts. So if he went before that fight begins, or as that fight's beginning, like, if he doesn't hesitate, I think he wins the game. I mean, it's you never really know, but, like, the fight's happening here, and the petards go through, and the trebs are here, 5 trebs on the TC, I think it's game over. But it's just such an uncomfortable feeling. Heartt's not used to giving up his whole army like that, and you know, he wanted to wait until he had a little bit more, and then it was too late. All right, game 3. Game 3, we've got Skukuza. We've got the Georgians for Hearttt. They, of course, start with the mule cart. And so, in theory, you could use that mule cart to gain a lead. Take the hunt, take the wood in the middle if you wish to. The Khmer then for Kingston, and most high-level games on Skukuza, all Dark Age is they push in the zebra. We have seen some people try and stop the other person from pushing the zebra, but to stop them from pushing the zebra, you then are no longer pushing your own zebra, so that gets kind of tough. Heartt is going to take some with the Vills, so now maybe what might be nice for Heartt is you could use that scout to block Kingston from pushing anything in. But you don't necessarily know if you're going to be able to do that. It's a risk that you can ever deny that, and it's a guarantee you can push in your hunt. There's also still other things to find with your scouts. So I think this will just be like super fast feudal scouts for both. And I doubt Kingston will ever build a mill in the middle. He'll be happy to just push in as much hunt as possible here. Someone says, T90, would you do anything special if someone gives 1,000 subs? Question mark. I mean, do you have any ideas? If you're wondering if I've already preset, like, you know, something that I do if someone gives 1,000 subs, I haven't. There have been some crazy gifters that over their, like, lifetimes, they have supported a lot. But yeah, I've never had someone drop 1,000 like at once. I don't think it's even possible. I think Twitch just made it you could drop 200 gifted subs at once. So I guess technically they could do 200 times 5. Someone says hot tub stream. I could toss up some hot tub footage right now for 50 gifted subs. I won't require 1,000 for that. Sure, my mom's a little disappointed, but I don't need 1,000 subs for that. 50 subs is more than fine. But no, I don't have any real thoughts on that. That would obviously be crazy. There's a certain threshold, man. Like, I already feel very fortunate at the amount of support that I receive. There's definitely a certain threshold of like a donation or gifted subs where it's like, I mean, I'm incredibly thankful, but it's like crazy, right? And it's not uncomfortable in a way where I'm like, I don't want people to give subs anymore and support the stream. It's not it, but I don't know, like, it's a lot, you know? I don't know how to describe it otherwise, so that would make me uncomfortable. Uncomfortable because it's just so much support, so. So Heartt's still pushing in Ostrich. Kingston's still pushing in Ostrich. Woodline's on the back here for Kingston. I really like both picks here. I don't love the Georgians if Heartt actually stays in the middle. Like, this is a bonus that he can utilize, but you got to get out of here, man. There's going to be a lot of aggression soon. I think the villagers need to be in a safer spot. Heartt is not a player who takes a lot of risks, so I think he'll probably do that, but just something to keep in mind here. Yeah, what is the plural of ostrich? Ostri? Ostriches? Ooh, what about an ostrich? Like a wide area of ostrich should be called an ostrich, like a stretch of land that contains ostriches. I don't know. Ostracism? Ostracize? Aussies? Maybe we should ask the actual Aussies on what a lot of ostriches are called. I don't know. Or would that be emus? Or no, the emus defeated Australia. That's what it was, right? I don't know. History is weird. I love this from Kingston. This is not something you get a lot on this map. But Kingston's looked at his woodlines and the berries and said, let's just make a little bubble here. It doesn't contain any gold, but... yeah, I guess Australians don't have ostrich, but they have emus. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, dude. I guess it's not the same thing, but, you know, there's no scientists watching. No one cares that much. Actually, who am I kidding? It's the internet. Well, technically, you guys have all of the world's information at your fingertips to make me look like an idiot. Heartt is going to see this wall off and be really annoyed. Like, I just don't think the same opportunity is really there for Hearttt. Technically, it could be. You could say you could wall back here. But Kingstone's base just looks perfect for it. Hearttt will see that. He'll imagine the wood line's going to be there. He sees the mill, and now Hearttt. He's playing offense, but mainly playing defense, right? Like, he has to make army, but not make too much army. If you overmake army and you can't do damage, you could be later to Castle Age. And if you undermake army, you're going to get completely smashed. So he's being as active as one can be when he can't really do too much damage to the opponent. Yo, Lifelong, thank you for the 5 gifted. I don't even know if the hot tub thing works, by the way. But I could try it. Maybe. I'm still kind of in the camp that I want my parents to be proud. So I try not to go that direction too much. But I don't need them 100% proud of me. I'm okay. I'm used to a certain level of disappointment, so I like to keep it around like 50%, you know? Keep everyone on their toes. Dude, Kingston... Kingston is really waiting here. I love it, too. Like, Hearttt might just assume at a certain point there's just one scout in there. But there's actually going to be 5 scouts there. Will Hearttt catch a glimpse of them? Doesn't see them. Now, there's no vills in the middle, which was a smart play from Hearttt. Kingston will be disappointed. Hearttt still doesn't know the scouts are out. And if they're especially sneaky, if they loop all the way around, Hearttt does have some exposed eco back there. And now even a blacksmith from Kingston. I would have loved to see Horse Collar here, but Hearttt doesn't even have double bid axe. It does feel like Hearttt senses something is up. He sees the blacksmith. He still sees the flag, but that's just one scout. So as far as Heartt's aware, the scouts have not moved out, and now he sees them. Yeah, and now Hearttt is thankful that he produced so many spears. There's our first kill of the game. There's going to be our second kill of the game. Maybe. Nice job from Kingston there. But Hearttt does do some damage with those spears. He will bring all of his scouts back now. And he could work his way towards some bigger walls. So you could still wall towards the mill, towards the wood line. And, oh, that fight is insane, dude. Wow, well played from Hearttt. All the things that could have gone wrong here, all the guessing games, everything's gone pretty much perfect for him. The gold is still exposed there for Kingston. But now Kingston has to make more scouts because Kingston doesn't have a barracks. He can't add any spearmen. He has to match these numbers in scouts. It's kind of sad for Hearttt that he didn't end up getting any of those eco upgrades. I assume he tried to get double bid axe and just didn't have the res for it, but it's a pretty rare upgrade to miss out on. And Kingston needs to complete the house. Will do so. And Hearttt might pull back again because he's not fully walled yet. And he might sense that Kingston's going to be coming forward. Still no barracks. And Conron says, T90, you saw Lifelong gifted subs, but not others. T90 blind. Oh, Conron, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Lifelong gifted 5. I thanked Lifelong and missed Conron. Sorry, Conron. I was just... that was intentional. I wanted to make sure you were paying attention. Not me. I was obviously paying attention. But I like Kingston's lack of hesitation on fighting back the spears. But unfortunately for him, there's just always another layer of defense here from Hearttt. Hearttt isn't fully walled yet. He'll have to wall the backside, but Heartt's going to pressure the stable now, and it's just this consistent cycle as the spearman goes down to the TC, where Kingston has to produce more army. He wants Castle Age right now, but he could lose that stable otherwise. Rod with 1,000 bits is the plural of ostrich is ostmillionaire? Ostmillionaire, huh? All right, I'll try that in a sentence at some point. I don't mind that. Like, it would at least make sense if I was casting him. Like, oh, look at him. He's got all the hunt. He's an ostmillionaire. I think that's someone who has all the ostriches, though. Not like plural of ostrich. There's a difference. Heartt looks locked in right now. Look at that scout control. That's crazy. 2 different hits. Perfect blocking on the second one, so the villager couldn't get into the house. Only way Heartt could have any problems in this game is if he's not walled and if he doesn't get up to castle age. He tried for another Vil kill there. How many people here have had issues on the most recent patch with their units consistently changing formation? They added a quote-unquote feature where if you do a different type of click using control, it kind of changes how... apparently, like, if you do control click, units won't change formation as much or something like that. But, like... Oh, God, that villager's exposed. Just passing. It's been horrible for me. Like, I feel like I have to spam formation nonstop to keep my units boxed up like this. So, I don't see how that changed... I guess there is a benefit if you, like, want to add an extra mechanic. But it's been really annoying. For me. Imagine it's been annoying for Kingston. He's had to deal with Heartt constantly. But he is going to go for a barracks. You know, a sneaky little pike siege push in a sudden death scenario. To go for the TC could work, but he's just now making his first couple spearmen. We'll have 2 barracks. One on the front, one at home. I like the shift, though, because straight knights from here is just not going to work. This is Kingston playing to the game mode. And being sneaky here. Still can't get over that first game. Angry Cutlet says, isn't T90's wife a bird scientist or something? Bro, I can't wait to tell her chat called her a bird scientist. No, she's not a bird scientist. She's a marine biologist. And I don't know exactly how she's going to feel about that, but I don't think she's going to love the fact that you thought birds instead of marine. Not that we don't have respect for all forms of science. More villagers getting sniped on these farms. Heartt is looking locked in right now. But he does not know. He is lacking critical information. He's killing Vils. He doesn't know there's a siege buildup on the sides. Kingston needs to wait. And the nice thing for Kingston is he's got enough going on in his own base right now where Heartt's going to think that this is like, you know, kind of a normal play. Doesn't really have the food for pikeman upgrade. How many rams do you need? I think you need like 4 minimum. But can you wait much longer? It takes a long time to bring in these resources, and Heartt is going to eventually have an idea something is coming. Heartt just feels ahead right now. Like, he just feels like he's outplaying him in the same game. Oh, and Heartt's looking, and Heartt sees it. And he's attacking. Now maybe you have to go, but you don't have spears and support. That's huge awareness from Heartt. I think it got far too quiet. He kind of sensed that Kingston would normally have a little bit more, and that is explaining why he didn't have as much at home. Yeah, so now waiting is kind of tough to justify. Pikeman upgrades 10 seconds away. Kingston does not want to be taking engagements before Pikeman. Pikeman upgrade will hit. He'll take the fight because of it. Heartt will just fight it off. I think Heartt feels like his eco's so good, and he has enough units here that he can just clear this up and win the game. That's a great fight for Heartt. It just wasn't enough pikemen. And the GG's called. No, the GG's called. I mean, he has basically nothing left, right? Like, he could make 1 or 2 pikes here, but the siege will never hop out without being sniped. And Heartt just played too clean. So, both players have kind of played their home maps like home maps, right? Heartt was super comfortable here. He seemed to be ever so slightly sharper with the transitions and the aggression. And then Kingston, the same in the previous game. So maybe this builds up towards a 5th game. Heartt up 2-1. I don't really think this is premature. When a player resigns, everything they had in queue is refunded. And Kingston only has 200 wood and 150 food. Like, if you would like me to tell you how this plays out, is he loses this pikeman. All the units converge around this siege workshop. He never gets enough army built up to actually take a fight. He loses the rams. He could hop out and click the rams onto the house and then try and break through the fortifications and get to the TC, but the Rams barely accomplish anything. So now, if he loses that fight and this isn't spotted, if he loses that fight here and Hearttt doesn't know about that, it's a premature resign because Hearttt might like come over here with his army, but I think Kingston knew Hearttt was going to be on his way. And yeah, Hearttt just played super smooth, man. Super smooth. Did he ever get eco upgrades? No eco upgrades the whole game. Pretty wild. Wow, they are in this game big time already. And they've switched colors on us. So we've got Hearttt again in the red, playing as the Bengalis. We've got Kingston playing as the Byzantines. Ring of Reeds, you've got some deer in the middle. Just like the previous map, players will usually try and push in whatever deer they can instead of taking the risk to actually mill this. And then on the outside, you've got the Ring of Water. You also have boars, you have some sheep, and then plenty of stone and gold here, so. Does her fiance have a favorite fish? She probably has a favorite shark. I think her favorite shark is a thresher shark. I mean, she likes a lot of different sharks, but I think thresher would probably be her favorite. I should probably know this. We saw lemon sharks on Sunday when we were diving, which was pretty sick. But yeah, I don't know. You want me to go ask her? I think she's in the other room. I could go find out. Nah, I shouldn't ask, because she's going to think I should know this. Some people, it's like you should remember their birthday. In my relationship, it's you should remember your favorite type of shark. I'm not going to go ask. That's suicide. That's stupid. Not suicide. She's not going to hurt me. I didn't mean to paint the wrong picture. Anyways, we're moving on. Sorry, I'm talking to myself into some trouble here. Thank you, Rod, for the 34 months and the bits, by the way. Thank you, Greentail. Thank you, Blizzard. Thank you, Roy. Thank you, everyone, for the long-time resubs. T90 Bro Official, welcome. The Niaz Andy set was very good. Definitely worth watching the VOD. You missed it. But yeah, I will tell you, chat. Well, hold on. Before I say this, I think it's important to note, you probably shouldn't take life advice from someone who talks about a 25-year-old video game for a living, okay? However, if you were to want to take life advice from someone who does such a thing, highly suggest scuba diving. Obviously, you got to get properly trained. You got to do classes and all this stuff. However, super cool. It's difficult. It's, of course, scary. It's a crazy thing, right? But it's freaking cool, dude. Really glad that I've started to get into that. I don't foresee myself diving that frequently, unfortunately, because I do have a weak stomach and I will get seasick on these tiny dive boats, but it's still worth it. I can show the footage again if you guys want to see, but we saw some really cool sharks and like we saw a pretty badass eel and some groupers. Growing up, we had a typing class at our school. I forget what grade. I think it was like 2nd and 3rd grade. And this typing class, you'd have a words per minute game where you just practice typing. But then after you were done with that, there was like 2 games on the computer. There was Oregon Trail, and then there was also this ocean game where you start as this super tiny fish, and then you'd have to like build your way up. I guess as you would like earn points, you would build up to different fish in the ocean. Anyways, one of the biggest fish in the game was a Goliath grouper. And I remember that Goliath grouper very vividly from that game. And we saw some freaking real groupers on Sunday. It was cool. Yeah, I just don't remember the name of that game. Maybe chat remembers. We've talked about it before. Fun game. But I know not everyone's had that. Some people didn't even really have a typing class, so. Did you guys have like requirements to learn writing cursive when you were younger in school? We did. That's so funny. Cursive. A required class. They didn't realize just how important typing was going to be. Cursive. I mean, I guess the only time I'll ever do it, I don't know if they still do it in schools. Maybe they do, so it's not like a forgotten art. But the only time I'll ever do that now as if I write a check, which is also extremely rare. So, pretty chill game here, by the way. It feels like a fast castle from both. Market Blacksmith for Heartt. I mean, Heartt Civ is so good here. You getting the additional vills. Fast castle is just perfect for them. All the pressure is going to be on Kingstone to do some damage. T90, it will be required in middle school. In middle school, please write print. Yeah, exactly. There's so many things in school. They're like, you're going to need this. I'd love to see some of the one teacher who would tell me, I mean, I don't blame her for saying this. It was kind of rude. In hindsight, she was spot on if I didn't get really lucky. But she was like, you know, you're not going to go anywhere in life if you don't focus on school. If she knew what I was doing right now, she would be very surprised. Yo, Cryptic Rage, thank you for the 25 gifted subs. Holy. Yeah, take that, Cursive. Support's been great, guys. Thank you. I just feel like the only win condition that comes to mind for me for Byzantines is fast imp. You're not going to have the villager lead over the Bengalis. You're not going to have the monk strength over the Bengalis. You're not going to have a unique unit over Bengalis. But if you can make it to imp, which is still cheaper, and get a castle up, which is way stronger with the Byzantines, get to Trebs or something, you could win. Also, I guess their fire ships are really good. There is this dock. Like, Heartt's up super quick. I think Heartt's about to go YOLO with monks and siege as well. Not your typical play for a player like Heartt, but, like, if it's the best way to play it, Heartt's going to do it. T90, the fish game is called Feeding Frenzy. A couple other chatters said different games, so I don't know if there's different versions of it. But yeah, good time. Warsler in chat says I'm still writing in cursive. No, don't get me wrong. I'm jealous of people who have good handwriting. I'm jealous because my handwriting looks like a freaking 2-year-old, or maybe like a 5-year-old, or maybe like 8-year-old. Either way, it looks bad. And you know, cursive as well. Like, cursive handwriting looks very good, but like in day-to-day life, people don't really need it in most situations compared to the importance that they put on it in school, right? Uh-oh. Yeah, okay, I was gonna say Kingstone almost opened that gate up and let Heartt in. Heartt is taking a long time to do something here. Like, if this was Ganji or some player who goes crazy with monks, they would have the monasteries already. He's taking his freaking time. But I guess he's up so much faster. The Mangonel's on the way. And the gold is right there for Kingstone. Oh, there's also a villager here from Heartt, which has now been spotted. If this villager gets sniped... Oh my god, Heartt traps it. Heartt has walled the scout, and that's actually huge. Because if that villager goes down and the scout can move around for Kingstone, Kingstone might have walked over here and dropped the castle behind Heartt's base. This series could be over in a moment, guys, because this castle's on the way up. Gates and walls about to be down. If Heartt sees that, he can be in with the siege to deny it. Oh, he's on the way. Ooh, but Kingstone's got just enough build time on this. Yeah, he sacrifices one vill. It's actually could be 2 that go down, but the castle's going to go up. All right. Now what? Like, genuinely, now what? You've defended the push. Now Heartt will shift his monks to the outside, I guess. Maybe try and get some relics. I don't know where the villager went. Ooh, the villager's here. Kingstone can't see that villager's building a monastery over there. I guess the scout will be escaping soon. Cryptix is from Australia. What's up, man? Hey, thanks for the support. I know it's tough for you to make the streams. Glad you could make it. Really appreciate the support. As I always say, especially if you can't make it frequently. We've had first-timers showing up. Sick, man. Been doing this a long time, so just what's the play for Kingstone? What's the play, guys? He's trying to click imp with like no food eco. This is brutal. At least Heartt can get some relics. Heartt's got some farms. Like, okay, Scout is free. And Heartt is going to try a little monk siege push from the outside now. Kingston at least will see it, but he has no defense for it. It's all about imp. But again, it's like, that's maybe the only win condition. The only way Byzantines are ever good here on a fast castle is just turning it into a fast imp. So, you do have the ability to make Dramens out of the dock. And I don't know if Dramens range the TC, but it would be close. You also can then make Trebs. Honestly, I am forgetting the fact that he could just make Trebs and roll through the middle to hit the TC. It's actually pretty clear. It's not that difficult. But at what point does Heartt realize that something's going on and start to build outposts for vision? He's really trying to pressure from the outside, which is good. But because he's coming in from the outer angles, he's going to have to look middle, right? Everything's moving that way. I think this villager from Heartt is probably here for an outpost. I don't know why she's there. Maybe she built the buildings there and earlier has just like been sent to the berries. Yeah, I guess he hasn't seen Imp yet, so he doesn't really know, but it's far too quiet. We've seen crazier things. We saw a 3 population victory yesterday. Hopefully you saw that on stream or already saw the YouTube video. If you didn't, you need to watch that one, but it's just, it's funny because Heartt should know something crazy is going to happen. But he is managing a lot right now. And it's still in the dark here. It bothers me so much that there's no outpost here. Also, where are these ladies going? Even carrying their fish with them. That's disgusting. What's the plan? Like a castle? No, there's no stone. Monks? No. I mean, there are going to be monks from here now. So with atonement and block printing, you can convert Heartt's monks from a really long distance away. Okay, they're coming back now. Yeah. Block printing hits kind of hard here. Heartt's got all those monks, but they'll just be outranged, and then that could lead to a real trickle effect. Where Heartt loses one monk, and then he loses the next, and then he loses the next, and all of a sudden Kingston has all the monks. Heartt will make a siege workshop on the outside now. These 3 villagers don't seem to care about food right now. Who can blame them? They've been eating the same fish for so long. Probably smells. Heartt getting atonement as well. Heartt's got 10 monks. They're split up, though. And, oh, Heartt's coming in with siege jellies. Siege elephants instead of imp is a great call from Heartt. He can just go for the TC. There is a castle there, but I don't know if that castle is going to be enough. Trev is on the way for Kingston. Oh, but Kingston's monks see everything. Very hard to feel comfortable pushing here if you're Heartt, because you see monks, and the monks could get redemption and convert your elephants. Imp has made things very possible for Kingston. Way more possible than I thought. Yeah, like, redemption could be in. You never want to move in. And now all your army and monks have to move away. And now that allows Kingston to move forward. Where did those 3 villagers go? They're coming back home. There's now elephants from this side. Heartt is going to try and push this Byzantine TC and castle. Oh, demo! Oh my god! Woo! Gotta be careful with your old men, people. You might think these little streams are a great place to walk, but they are not. Damn, that was sick. And of course, now he needs to take care of that dock so that doesn't happen again. That's 5 monks down. And now there's monks here. 1 gets converted. 2 get converted. All of a sudden, there's more monks for Kingston, and he's an imp. Oh, God. But here comes Hearttt, and Kingston has to panic. Kingston cannot lose this TC. It's starting to get bad for Hearttt. And so he's making the play for the town center. There is a mangonel here. There are monks behind, and the walls and the mangonel will be enough. Hearttt needs to back off. Kingston does not have redemption, by the way. And to convert the elephants, you need to be standing directly next to them. Oh, man, it just feels like the castle and the monks have made it so difficult for Hearttt to have any realistic chances of doing damage. Kingston has been really patient as well. He is not overextended at all. Heartt's eco is way better. But his units just can't seem to do what they can't accomplish anything. This is nice, though. Converting the market's really nice. But Kingston's starting to push forward. Devotion upgrade just completes. Still no redemption, right? A monk could get converted, though. There's a mangonel here. Mangonel can flatten the scorpions. Monk got converted. It's a lot of monks, dude. He needs redemption, though. Elephants are just so freaking slow. They're so slow and depressing. And sad. They don't look happy to be there. I just feel bad for them. I'm feeling bad for Hearttt as well, because it feels kind of useless. These are not cheap. He loses 1, it gets very sad, and dies. And now this one getting blocked as well. Heartt's mad at these units right now. He's getting husbandry. He's like, are you freaking kidding me? This unit's so slow. He's continuing to try to go for the TC, though. I just don't think he's going to get through there. And it's all building up towards Kingston having the courage to leave his TC to go for Heartt's TC. He can't do it because Heartt's always here. It's also sick how Heartt's able to heal these. Redemption's 20 seconds away. And redemption means the mangonel can be converted. The monks, of course, can be converted. Hearttt is redemption, though. And Heartt's converting a mangonel. Oh, no, it got deleted. Monks get converted. Elephants knocking on the door. Trebuchets are here. Trebuchets are here. Near the TC. Is it winnable for Kingston? Oh, Hearttt, all of his elephants are going down. This is just horrible. And the Trebs are here. The Trebs are here. There's light cav, though, from Hearttt. Kingston wants to wall in the Trebs. He doesn't have stone. It's palisade gates. Bring everybody. Bring them all. No! He couldn't get it. Heartt's repairing. Can Hearttt still do it? Can he hold on? 1 Treb goes down. I think a lot's going to go down. All the vills for Kingston will die here. He needs every single conversion. He needs his light cap to turn around and get kills. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no! Oh, he was too late to protect his Trebs, and it's all falling apart. The Trebuchet's down. The monks are down. Heartt's still Castle Age, but, like, Kingston's economy is brutally bad. Really bad. Again, another instance where Hearttt knows to just send it against this in this format, right? Like game number 1, he easily could have lost, but he brought everybody to repair, and he brought the additional army then. Now it's going to take Kingston so long to build back up for this, man. This is tough. Actually, the wild thing is Hearttt should never go in. You need to just hold the map with everything you have. Going imp is actually a little bit of a risk. Obviously, if you can get there, you get there. But my point is don't take the risk if you don't have to. Imagine if those gates would have gone down. Oh, that's such a missed opportunity, man. What's up, Gibson? Well, Kingston's got to try. Just has to wait. He doesn't have a market anymore because it got converted. He's got to wait for enough wood to make another Treb. Or you just make a market, I guess. And he has to hope for conversions. It's still doable. I don't know what Heartt does because you can't elephant ram push because it just doesn't work. You can't petard. Petard would be good. But you'd have to petard from like the backside. That's pretty ridiculous. I mean, but not any more ridiculous than elephants on the backside. Might as well build a castle there. Castle defensively also makes sense, though. This must be nerve-wracking. Like, imagine the pressure at Heartt. You just are waiting for this crazy attack to come in at all times. Cannot be a comfortable feeling. And Heartt is going to build a castle defensively there. So that's good. And Kingston's just going to try the same cycle again. I mean, if he gets the conversions right, and a couple spears are in front, he can kill these Lyca. Or is my game frozen? Aha! Yes. Okay, perfect. All right, we're back in. Got to change the colors. We unfortunately lost a couple stats. Party for YouTube if you could fix that. Sorry about the freeze. We are back in. Heartt is building a castle on the outside. I'm going to try and go 2 times speed to get live time here. And the Lycav dive. Only kill 1 monk. Remember, there are spearmen as well for Kingston as he continues to buy food. He needs to build up more trebs. He now needs to go past a castle as well. This is going to be very tough. And he does not know that there is a castle back here where Heartt is finally making petards. Heartt diving again. And Heartt will get some kills, and Heartt will be happy with this because he has the much better economy. And every monk he kills makes it so much more difficult for Kingston. Kingston doesn't know that there's a castle there as well. Oh, man. If only he had waited for a few pikemen and for more trebs last time. Okay, he's going to go for the castle. Meanwhile, on the other side, we can't forget, Heartt is massing petards. You need 6 petards to take out a Byzantine TC, I believe. This one's weak, so I think 6 would do it. But you also need to take down the wall as well, which is not going to be easy. We're still catching up to live time. I refuse to slow it down. It's all going to happen very fast. The elephants are coming in this way. Heartt doesn't have the petards yet. There's trebs and pikes in the middle. Heartt's also going to mix in crossbows for the main army. Heartt's converting some vills. He's saving his elephants. His castle's going down. But crossbows and monks are coming out from Heartt, and Heartt is going to be able to defend this. He has so much army here. And it's just such a good call from him. As the elephants are through, it's such a good call to stay in Castle Age. Heartt is coming through! And Heartt wins the game. Honestly, really impressive display from Heartt to recognize in sudden death that he needs to really commit defensively, or he needs to just keep it messy and YOLO like this. Like, certain players don't love these settings, right? Certain players, like his buddy Leary, for example, they don't sign up, right? Maybe life is busy, who knows? But there's just, sudden death's not everyone's cup of tea. And I would have really thought that Heartt's a player who's possibly, you could make an argument, is like too meta for the settings. No, dude, this was sick. Like the buildings on the outside. Really, the biggest thing for me was the recognition to stay in Castle Age. Like, trying to go imp would have meant he wouldn't have had the light cav, or he wouldn't have had the crossbows, and then the push from Kingston maybe had a chance. Staying in Castle Age that long was pretty sick there. For Kingston, unfortunately, frowny faces, because he could have won the first game. He was so close, man. Like, he could have killed off the TC if he had one more treb. We'd be in game 5 right now, and who knows, maybe Kingston could have won the series, but it's still a good series from Kingston, a good fight. I also loved Kingston's recognition of the settings being sudden death and how it changed his approach. But, like, a couple moments could have gone differently with his trebs to maybe win the series there. So, still really fun to watch. I don't know, man. Heartt's obviously incredibly talented. He has been up against people who have gone crazy and YOLO. And then he himself has also gone crazy and YOLO when need be. So Heartt should definitely be one of the favorites to win this tournament right now. I think the big one for him would be running into Yo. So Mr. Yo, I think, is up against Capoch, and I think if he beats Capoch, he'll be up against Heartt. But if he can get through Mr. Yo, he could potentially win this tournament. So here's the bracket again. Heartt obviously wins here. Yo Capoch, I'm expecting. I think like everyone's thinking Yo will win that. Unfortunate for Capoch, but Yo, I think, won the previous sudden disaster and is like almost always top 4 in every event. We'll see though. We'll see. Then you look further down. We're waiting to see Barles and Lewis. Barles Lewis play tomorrow, or maybe it's in 2 days. I forget. I think they play Sunday. Winner there will be up against Sebastian, who's also insane. And then we have Margugu Sorakuma yet to happen. We have Nikov Classic Pro yet to happen. I think those are the sets that are probably tomorrow. I'll let you know when they happen in a second. And then obviously spoilers, what we saw earlier, but freaking Andy won. Great set there. It'll be Andy up against Dudazu in the, what is that, quarterfinals? Yeah, that's quarterfinals. Guys, Dudazu doesn't even have a Liquipedia page. Like, they don't, no page. You click him, it says there's currently no text in this page. And Dudazu is going to be in the quarterfinals of this event.